So, why did I choose to be an animator? Okay, short answer, I really needed a job. I had to find something that was more meaningful to me than just working in a coffee shop, man. And long answer, well, Alright, Sketchnotes story time! Here we go! I went to college with one goal in mind, that I really wanted to work in video games. I didn't really know then how to achieve that. All I know was, man, would it be so cool to be working every day in video games? Cool, man! So I went to college in a creative arts program to figure out how to get that career, and also to get better at being an artist and stuff. It started out to be pretty fun. The art world is so big, and there are so many things to learn. At first, I jumped around to different arts classes. I tried out drawing, graphic design, film, sculpting, photography, you name it. It was nice to learn new skills, and at the time, it was necessary to have a diverse set of art styles so I would be more valuable in a video game studio. However, after a year of being in this art program, I found out the hard way that, man, I'm terrible at making art. My grades were starting to get pretty bad. Well, they were still passable, but I wasn't getting any hopeful comments from the teachers. I was just getting the, that still needs more exploration and improvements kind of comments. And that did not make me feel like I had a shot in making this into a career. There were also many talented students around me, and much younger too. Something that would take me a day of stressful work, these guys, they could make a better version of it just in an hour or so. It didn't even look like they were trying, and they were getting the most amazing comments from the teachers. I mean, it was tough to be around them, while I was trying too hard just to get in the same level. But some of these people, man, they would make a bunch of paintings and actually sell them for a few $1,000s in conventions. And then there were these other students in there with just a different, attitude. They would act like they're above you. It was such an awful feeling of getting these fake smiles, the way they talk that doesn't even feel like there's a person in front of them. The whole thing is like a game to get the better fame or something. I wasn't making friends with these people. Their attitude and the atmosphere really just puts me in an isolated corner in the school. That was demoralizing, to say the least. Well, good thing it wasn't all that bad. I did end up making a few great friends along the way. They were fellow creative people that just love what they do, and that is just an admirable thing to see. With these guys, it didn't even matter that they were so much more talented than me in art. I was just happy hanging out with them, while sharing and improving each other's work. Now, speaking of awesome people in college, let's talk about the one teacher that started it all. Let's call him Mr. Portfolio. Mr. Portfolio was a no-nonsense, straight-to-the-point professor. Unlike many fine arts teachers, Mr. Portfolio cared so much about what kind of career we wanted to get into after college. He was tough, but fair, and you could really feel that he was only like this because he wanted you to get the job you desired after you graduated. On one unforgettable afternoon, I got to sit down for a one-on-one talk with him, just to talk about the present artworks that I had done so far, and where I wanted to go with these for a career. But he also wanted to give me critiques he had of my drawing artworks. It's another one of those days of the, hey, your drawings they're pretty bad, man. Those kinds of talks. Yeah. So, he told me that I had this weird habit of overdrawing. that I drew too many lines, made too many moves, and it was making my drawings worse. Then he said for some strange reason that I kept on changing the pose in the middle of drawing a character. To him, it felt like I wanted to make my drawings move around the canvas. For example, my torso would be on one pose, while my legs and head would be on another. It was confusing and not helping me get ahead in my art. It was a quick talk. On my way home and for the next several days, there was one thing stuck in my mind. My art was making my drawings move. My art was not improving because it was moving in the canvas. I wasn't happy about this thought. It was stressful. Drawing is about capturing the perfect moment, and they're not supposed to move. Yeah. So, one weekend, I was browsing around in a bookstore. I was just walking around, maybe searching for inspiration. Not sure. The art section had a really nice collection. It's fun to just open some books, check things out, even if you're not planning to buy anything. I highly recommend it, actually. Pretty nice. But that's when I found it. The book that had the answers that I was looking for. Richard Williams' Animator Survival Kit. The whole book was about drawings that move. I've been animating this whole time. I thought, hey, I can become an animator. I went through the pages all weekend, and that's rare for me to read a book that fast. I couldn't put it down. It was the most expensive book I bought at the time, and I kept on rereading it over and over. There was a lot in it that I didn't understand. It was just a feeling that I knew that what I was searching for was in here. The Animator Survival Kit is basically an instructional guide on how to do a specific medium, an art form that I can get excited about, and a career that makes sense to me. Animation was all of this, and there was nothing esoteric about it. All I needed now was the hundreds of hours of training, and I could apply these animation skills in anything. And this includes working in video games, man! Yes! So, I planned a way to switch to an animation program, which meant going to another school in the city. It took me a while, but by that next year, I got in for the first semester of animation, and it was magical. The weirdest thing that happened when I got in there was that practically everyone in my class was doing the same thing in their art. They were adding movements in their drawings. A bunch of us had a similar problem, man. And animation was the answer. In conclusion, I had such a great time in those animation school years. Although it was definitely more demanding of my time and willpower, learning everything I could about animation was ridiculously exciting for me. It gave me goosebumps every time I saw an inanimate thing in the screen come to life. But in a good way, a super excited kind of way. To this day, I'm still enthusiastic about animation. Sure, there's a ton of work, and lots of long hours involved just to get a few minutes done. However, this medium has so much to offer and to play around with. I don't see a tipping point on where I could eventually stop this. All I see are different ways where the animation medium can be used and explored. As far as I know, man, I've only just begun with animation. And there we go. That's why I chose to be an animator. The end! I hope you liked that video. See you guys next time. Alright, bye-bye. I'm off. I can't just be satisfied with a single frame on screen. I want my characters to come to life, to have appeal, to breathe, and be a part of your world.